Hi, my name is Junko Yoshida. I'm the editor-in-chief of Junko's Tech Probe on Substack. I'm here today with two Yole analysts who just came back from Munich. I'd like to get the take, sort of intelligent take from both Pierrick and you. I'm going to start with Pierrick. Pierrick, what surprised you most?
I think that there were two sides. So the first side was the European side with European OEMs coming with solid production models that were commercialized or near to be commercialized. BMW coming with their Neue Klasse platform, their electric platform, and also announcing their partnership with Qualcomm for the ADAS part. Mercedes as well coming with their new EV platform with 800 volt and fast charging technology. Volkswagen and their sub-brands promoting the EVs for everyone. So with the ID Cross EV concept, that was started by the Renault 5 earlier this year, but now we see more and more OEMs pushing in that direction.
Right.
And the second part is more on the Chinese side, whether it is for OEMs or suppliers. They were coming with a high number of exhibitors. So I think it was the highest number of exhibitors in the IAA Mobility coming from China.
Really? How many?
116 Chinese exhibitors,
wow.
and the total number of exhibitors was 750 around. Yeah. Yeah. So that was the highest part of a single country. So that's really impressive. They came with real products. They didn't come with concept.
Or PowerPoints. Yeah.
So that was products that were ready to use or already used in cars in China. So I think they came with the idea to be ready to partner with European OEMs or European tier ones. We see the Chinese players opening some factories in Europe to build cars, or even design offices like with Robotics that is opening new offices in Munich to design in Europe for Europe. So that's a new change, and it's opening a way to multiple partnership with European players.
So if Europeans are doing it, China for China, that China is the Chinese are coming to Europe, Europe for Europe, right? I mean, that's what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You tell me about your observation, something that you probably hadn't thought about before, but it surfaced this time on the at the show.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Junko. I think it's quite interesting. I mean, I have been to IAA for more than 1 decade. I mean, this is just keep evolving. It's a really nice show. And for me, is that the first thing is about the EV itself. I think this show again kind of confirmed commitment of the European OEMs and also supply chain towards the electrification. Yeah. I think if you see the booth, actually. I would say not absolutely, but the large majority of the show cars are EV. So I think that's already a sign. That's right. So and I think as Pierrick just mentioned, there's quite a lot of new interesting launches, and so I think that's quite interesting to see, especially in the adoption of 800 volt architecture and also silicon carbide with the new generation. And also for me, it's a very interesting thing. Actually, a new opportunity is that about the hybrid cars, because I mean that's kind of not really in the focus of Europe for the last few years, but we are seeing actually it's quite popular. So we are seeing, I think, kind of opportunities for the hybrid, especially for the range extender. But I think that's something we have already been expected, but we just kind of verified it. And another part actually for me is kind of things not really expected is about the ADAS part. Especially the kind of new business chance we are seeing. So as Pierrick mentioned, yeah, a lot of Chinese OEMs and suppliers to IAA this year. I mean, it surprised me even more. This year is really a huge influx. And especially new for me is that there's a quite a complete supply chain from the ADAS part in China. So from the controllers, the ADAS controllers to the algorithm suppliers to the SoC designers. I mean, this is really the first time to see them so much in Europe. What I see is that actually we are seeing the push to ADAS almost worldwide, but at a different pace. I think we have discussed it already for the Shanghai Auto Show. That's in China is mainly about L2 plus things.
Sure.
But I think in Europe, it's mainly about still regulation. So it's kind of L2 functions.
Yeah.
And for me, is that I don't see a very cost competitive solutions yet from the conventional supply chain in Europe. And where I think that's the part maybe is in combination with the Chinese supply chain, which has already a lot of experience, a lot of cases built through the past years. So I think that's kind of, for me, something unexpected, but it's really, really promising.
Educate me that when you compare that the ADAS features in Chinese OEMs vehicles versus ADAS features that are made available by European OEMs, what are the differences?
I was thinking in China now it's getting popular as the L2 plus functions. So basically it's the highway NOA. That means that navigation on autopilot, so you can kind of like the car drive most time itself. And only in some extreme cases, they are asking to take over from the human drivers. So that's one part. And also the autonomous parking functions. That's also very, very popular in China. And and also sometimes people, it's called memorable or memorize the city NOA. So it's kind of from one place A to place B. So you drive for 1 week, and then for the rest, things like you drive every day from work to home, then the car can also drive. So these kind of functions will be the backbone, I mean, even for the budget cars. So I think what we have already discussed is after the Shanghai Auto Show. But for me in Europe, I think it's mainly driven by the regulations, things like AEB, like some of the driver monitor system, that's really driven by the regulations. Right. Because I mean, in Europe, there's still quite a big doubt of like the car drive itself. So I think that's also not only the technology part, but also the customer way to do that.
Yeah. But here's my question. If I were a European OEM, what is my advantage of teaming up with Chinese ADAS suppliers?
I think there are two things. One is, of course, cost. As I mentioned, I don't see really cost competitive solutions for the European OEMs. I think especially for some brands is that they are more specialized with the budget cars. I mean, think of a car with just something like 20,000 euro. I think it will be difficult to have kind of 1,000, 2,000 euro increase in the total BOM cost. And the other side is that the Chinese solutions, a lot of them has already been running with tens of thousands of cars already on the road for pretty long while. So that's kind of verified by the production.
I'm going to go back to Pierrick because I think actually every media reports that I read, they will always start with Qualcomm and BMW. As a reporter who has covered automotive industry for a long time, the partnership between a big chip company and big OEM, there's nothing new. What's so special about this relationship, Pierrick?
I think what is new is the arrival of Qualcomm in ADAS domain. Before that, they were new, or they came in automotive through the infotainment domain.
Right.
They gained a lot of market share and experience regarding the automotive industry, how it was working, and so on. And now I think it's the first time we can see Snapdragon Ride for ADAS application. Before that, Mobileye had the largest market share.
I see.
And now it is the first move of Qualcomm in the ADAS domain. So that's a big step, quite important. And especially with BMW, they are co-designing the autonomous driving software stack.
Right. So that's a big deal. Yeah. So I guess my question is that are they already integrating cockpit and ADAS, or that's on the roadmap?
So I think as of today, it's separated. So Qualcomm has already a very large market share in the IVI infotainment domain. They have their own SoC for that. The next step will be for ADAS. So again, they will have dedicated SoC, I guess, for that will be integrated in a domain controller for ADAS.
Yes.
The move after will be or could be together ADAS and IVI in the same or in a single SoC.
Right.
Probably for low-end or mid-end cars, but that will be the next step.
Yeah. I think here, Junko, I want to just cut in. I think Pierrick really made a very nice point about the penetration of Qualcomm of the strategy, because I think during IAA, we have the opportunity to really discuss with Qualcomm and
Yes.
on their booths. So they mentioned clearly is that they want to leverage their kind of position in the cockpit domains and to get into the ADAS part.
Yeah.
And that's also, I think, for me, is very interesting, as you just asked. So because for the moment, it's still two separate domains, and they want to cross from cockpit to ADAS. And I think Pierrick was very right, because for the moment, for the high performance ones, they are separated.
Yeah.
But there is a chance, I think, actually, we have already discussed it with some other Chinese players. I mean, Black Sesame, for example. The strategy they will have is that actually they will based on a more powerful cockpit SoC, but take some part for simple ADAS functions like AEB, because that will be not really advanced one, it will be not really high performance one. But if they can integrate that part to the already powerful cockpit, because which will be a must for the future cars, that could be a very cost competitive solution. So if you get the logic, so because the cockpit SoC will be there anyway, and the requirement for ADAS will be minimum. And if you do that with a separate processor, that will be quite costly. And if you want to integrate it to that one, that will be a very cost competitive solution, satisfying the need of the modern car and also satisfying the regulation upgrade for the ADAS functions.
Oh, that's a very good point, because I was just thinking like, merging the two seems like from the semiconductor, I grew up in the semiconductor industry, so it's natural to have integration. But at the same time, in automotive, there's an issue of mixed criticality, between the cockpit applications versus ADAS. That could be a problem because, and then it's like ADAS itself by itself has its own speed of innovation, while cockpit also has its different set of speed of innovation. All right, so it's a cost-effective ADAS plus Black Sesame's, advanced cockpit. That could be a winning combination. That's interesting. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, that's actually also, I mean, I also have never thought of before, but I think it's from the business point of view, from technology point of view, I think it's really making perfect sense.
Yeah. What about what's going on with the Volkswagen Chinese horizon? What's going on there? It's more of the same. It's a similar route where the Qualcomm and the BMW is going, or it's a very different idea here behind it.
Maybe I can just start. I think then Pierrick, you can add some other points. Actually, Horizon Robotics, they are, I mean, for me, they are the kind of most popular Chinese OEMs among the show. They have huge booths and so many people were there. And they have a different strategy. I think they are quite known in China for their kind of low cost solutions for the ADAS part. And also, I think they are working in that way. And also by working with a lot of local players like Bosch, like Continental now is Automobile, so whatever name, and also the joint venture with Volkswagen or the Carried company. So they have actually those ADAS processors on their booths, and also they are quite pushing to the more advanced L3 or L4 directions. Also, they are kind of showing off their muscles. So they are still pushing on the advanced ADAS side, but they have kind of a family of solutions with their J6 processors. So they have, I mean, from the top ones to the bottom ones, but they are kind of covering the whole range of ADAS functions.
Interesting. What do you see, Pierrick, in the?
Yeah, I think it's also a way to gain some market share in China, because we see that Chinese OEMs, they use, most of the time, they try to use local suppliers for each of their parts. And this year we saw that the Chinese government, they ask OEMs to get 25% of their chips coming from local suppliers. So, so it's a way for Western OEM to be more, let's say, integrated in the local market, and maybe have some facilities there. And as this percentage might increase in the future, they will have to do it anyway. So if it's Horizon Robotics, it's a first, but next step could be with, I don't know, Black Sesame or another suppliers. They will have to do it this way.
Interesting. Yeah, well, this is fascinating. What you guys are saying, it's a little bit layer underneath what's going on in the supply chain. The Chinese are not just OEMs are coming, Chinese ecosystem is coming to Europe. That's a new angle. Anything else you guys want to add?
I think about the Horizon Robotics. They are teaming up with Bosch. They got a lot of contracts in China already for the ADAS controllers. So I think that's kind of also another way to leverage into the European market, because they are already working with a lot of European tier ones in China. This is on the one side is about how to help the European OEMs. On the other side, they are also teaming up kind of to help also the Chinese OEMs to going abroad, because for the moment, all the Chinese cars, they are sold in Europe. There's actually no advanced ADAS functions because the data problem, because the training problem. So that's also the tier ones. Then they will be here because they already have the global operations. They can help there. So I think that's kind of two ways of beneficiary of teaming up. Yeah.
That's a new wrinkle. I didn't even think about that. So Bosch as tier one could potentially help Chinese OEM coming to Europe.
Yeah.
Wow. Very complicated. Very good. Well, thank you very much for your take. And it was a lot of fun. And we'll keep talking. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Junko, as always. Yeah.
Yeah.